Good morning. Good Friday is the most difficult day of Easter week. Christ's journey turned treacherous and acutely painful in these final hours leading up to his death. According to Scripture, Judas Iscariot, the disciple who betrayed Jesus, was overcome with remorse and hanged himself early Friday morning. Meanwhile, around the third hour, which is around 9 o'clock in the morning, Jesus endured the shame of false accusations, condemnation, mockery, beatings, and abandonment. After multiple trials, he was sentenced to death by crucifixion, one of the most horrible and disgraceful forms of capital punishment at that time. Before Christ was led away, soldiers spit on him, tormented and mocked him, and pierced him with a crown of thorns. All condemned prisoners were to carry their own crosses to the place of execution, and it was the Roman guards' intention that Jesus would too. But such was the level of torture he endured at their hands, they enlisted Simon of Cyrene to help him to Calvary. There, again, he was mocked and insulted as Roman soldiers nailed him to a wooden cross. Jesus spoke 7 final statements from the cross. His first words were, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." His last words were, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." Then at about the 9th hour at 3 in the afternoon, Jesus breathed his last breath and died. One of the things that is known about crucifixion is that it could take days to die. But Jesus died much quicker than usual. The intensity of his torture and the weight of our sin was immense, but we forget that it was his Father in heaven who struck him in punishment in our place. That suffering was beyond our imagination, but not beyond our benefit. What love, what amazing love. One of the great passions of the writers of Scripture was that we should draw near to God. You don't have to go to church to do that, just as well during this time of isolation and quarantine. Drawing near is an invisible act of the heart. It is the directing of your heart into the presence of God through the door of faith. Faith in Jesus. Without Jesus' act of obedience to the Father and incredible, wonderful compassion to us, we wouldn't be able to do that. We could never draw near to him. But God doesn't need us. If we stay away and don't draw near to him, he won't be worse off from it. But he wants us. Why? Because in his great love and mercy, he knows that we are incomplete and poorer without him. Everything he does is driven by his great love and mercy. Listen to Psalm 16, verse 11. "You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures for evermore." We were created by God, designed to know God, but we lost that privilege when we allowed sin into our lives. But Jesus dealt with it. He is the way, the truth, and the life, just like he said. What do you say?